we are continuing going through our UAT remediation kinds of stuff. And this episode, we're just going to continue working through our list. Did want to note that I got my style sheet updated now. You're actually seeing it in from the past episode. And you can see that now we've slimmed out our tasks. That was one of our goals we wanted to get knocked out. Another thing, I did not get day 51 committed. So if you look at day 52, and if you're following along in GitHub, then you'll see a tag for day 52, which will have the changes from 51 and 52. Now, let's go ahead, and one of the things we want to do, is here on our home. Behind the scenes, this is working off of our current time frame, and this is this task. We want to add a filter essentially to our task list. I think that's the one that we want, and that looks good. So that'll be the one that we're going to be focusing on next. Is we're going to put a little filter here. Now, we've seen this before. If we look at our reports, basically if we go by timeline, then we have this select timeline. So we're going to steal that, and we're going to put that onto over here on our to-do. So if we take a look in, that was in our reports page. And what we did in that case is we actually, I think, built that on the fly. So when we go into our views, we'll do essentially the same thing. So let's go to reports page. Reports generates task by time frame. And then, that was actually generating it. Report parameters, here we go. And we're going to do this one. So we're going to select the timeline. We're just going to steal that, and we're going to put that in the to-do. Where is, to-do is actually, though, if we look at to-do, it's active tasks. So let's go to active tasks. There we go. And what we want to do here is we're going to add, this will be before our parms. And this is going to be we're going to call this our selector equals that. Let's see, options equals that. Let's just take that. That selector equals selector plus option, parms equals. And we've got this changed up, so now we can send that across. And we're just going to call this. Now we could do this actually probably just as easily, is that we could actually create this in our on our page. We're going to pass this in just because. And actually what we probably should end up doing is pull that. Ideally, this would get pulled out into some sort of a little, a method of some sort. I don't know if I want to put it in the views, so we're not going to mess with it right now. But ideally what you do is take this, this bit of code and just return the string. And you could probably do that with a couple different things, but I don't want to change up my structure too much right now. So I'm just going to keep it simple. And so now I've got, going into task list, I'm going to send a selector. And I'm sure it has an ID. Does it have an ID? Yes. So this is going to be, we're just going to call it TF. Let's call it, ID is just going to be TF-ID. We'll just call that. Because then what we're going to end up doing is going to be able to do a little bit of work on this. So let's first do that. So let's add that to our selector, which is in our task list, which is in here somewhere. There it is. Task list. And then let's take a look where we want to put that. We probably want to put it right off of create task. Actually, we'll put it before the count. That's a good question. We'll go ahead and put it, let's put it before the count. but on the same line. So we're going to we'll do something like this. So this is going to be a selector. And then if we do that and run it, whoops. So here what we want to do is we actually want that to be, so let's go take a look at that. That needs to be, which is, this may be a problem because the way we do it is we were actually setting the inner HTML based on that. So we don't really want to do it that. Okay, so we don't want to do it that way. My mistake. Let's take that whole thing off. And instead, this is going to be options, which is going to be our time frames. Let's just take that whole thing out there. And then this is going to be, see, this is why you shouldn't do this stuff necessarily on the fly, but you get to see a little bit of design thought process as part of it. So now instead we're going to just pass the options in, which is going to be our options for all of our time frames. Options count. Okay, so we should be good. So instead, where did that go? That was task list. Yes. So instead, we're going to do essentially the same thing, but here we're going to do, I'll keep that in there just because I can. And this is going to be for opt and ops. So we're going to actually be able to do almost exactly the same code we did. This is going to be N4, sort of like we did here. And then here, instead, we're just going to do option. And then this is going to be the opt ID. And then here is going to be the opt name. And then let's see. Oh, and then we need the select. So we do that. Oh, we don't need the for anymore. So we've got our select ID equal to, we're going to call this current time frame. Whoop, I should spell select right. And then we'll put the select after it. And then, well, we'll put that tasks count. And we'll do it like that. So now, let's take a look. Okay, so now, whoops. It is not getting that right. Opt and ops, opt ID, opt.name. So it must not be getting ops right. Oh, because I didn't save it. It helps to save all your changes. So we check it. There we go. So now we can set a time frame. And so what we've got to do though is on that, we're going to have to actually recall this page. So what we need to do is we're going to actually steal sort of from our reports page. We're going to do the same kind of thing here. I'm going to work it off select. And I'm doing this mostly for speed purposes, just from a coding point of view, might as well. So this is going to be select time frame. And then I think what we want to do here is we probably just want to, that's a good question. Okay, so let's see. We want to, first, we got to grab our select, which is current TF. So current time frame, we're going to get that ID. And then we're going to get its value, which is the ID. And then we need to call, I think what we can do is we're going to actually cheat this a little bit. We're going to create a new one that'll allow us to set our time frame. So we're going to do, what did we call that? Go page. Oh, I didn't like that thing at all. Let's see, go here. Here we go, go page. That's what we called it. So what we can do is we can come in here and we are going to do, this is going to be set time frame. Let's call it set. We'll just call it that. And this is going to be ID. With an ID, and I don't need anything else. And so what set time frame is going to do, so that's set TF. And we can just steal this. So this is going to be set time frame. And then it's going to do a neat little thing here because it's going to end up going back to the to-do. We're going to only do this here. So what we want to do is, we'll steal that one just because of the signature. Whoops, where'd we go? We stole set edit time frame. So we're going to take edit time frame. We'll basically take that. We still need to be that. Yeah, I don't know that we need too much. Let's just, whoop. Let's copy and paste that. Let's do set time frame. So we check for logged in. I don't know if we need that. Where did we set? I think, let's see, did we just call it session TF? We called it, let's see, P and, oh, because we've got it here probably. It must be P. Let's go back to our, was that active tasks? Actually, let's see, where did we pull it? It was based off of time frame is current. Where's current? Oh, it is P. Okay. So, and it's just an ID. So let's go here. And so all we need to do here is do that request session equals ID. And then we're going to do a redirect to do. Because we're just going to go ahead and force that thing to change. Now this is going to be a little bit hokey in a sense because, oops, that's run report. I don't want reports page. I want task list. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do select time frame. It's actually going to be on change. I may be able to do, where'd that go? Select. Boy, that's going to be a good one. I'm going to go do this. I may want to try something a little different. So let's start with this and see how it looks. So if I do select time frame and then run it. So now let's see if I set it to March. It's not doing anything. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Whoop, I don't want source. I want to look at inspect console. It's probably breaking. Select time frame not. Okay, it's not defined. So something's not right there. So select time. Oh, with a capital F. Got a match case. And actually what we want to do probably is set it to this. So if I do that, there we go. Okay. Yeah, that's not too bad. So I think we'll leave it like this. What we could do is do something. So we're going to only, maybe do update button or on change, like on leaving this field. But let's stick that for now. And what I want to do is, now I need to go into my views because I need to do, where's that edit? Oh, I'm sorry, active. So now what I do need to do here is now I'm going to need to do, I'm going to do a current. And current is equal to that. Okay, so I do have current there. Oh, I want it to be, How do I want to do that? Well, okay, so I do have a PID here, so let's do that. Equals 0. And then otherwise, PID equals that. And so I'm going to do it this way. So what I'm going to be able to do is say, now I get to go to my task list. And when I'm building this thing out, I'm going to do a little if here. So this is going to be selected equals selected. But I'm going to wrap that with a little if. So I'll actually do it this way, just so it's a little easier to read. Oh, and I need that selected equals, that has to be a string. And I'm going to do a percent endif. And this is going to be if op.id equals PID. And that probably will work. Did I have an endif? Oh, I want to do endif this way. So now let's take a look. So immediate's going to come back. Oh, there it is. So it's going to complain because, oh, it's got to be equals equals. Where did I put that? But that's what I need. There we go. So now if I go to my roadmaps and I select something different from immediate, so my current time frame now is probably is professional goals. If I go to roadmap, whoop, I'm sorry, if I go here, professional goals. There we go. So now I can do that and I can change stuff out and I've completed my task. So it took a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and make this just our sort of our focus right now is filtering our results. And we'll wrap this episode up and we'll come back next time and continue working our way through our list. As always, go out there and have yourself a great day, and we will talk to you next time.